You were growing up in Eagle. You had a list of rules. Didn't you? And we can protect the park that way. The easiest thing to say about the park are negative. No freeways. No McDonald's. No fire stations. No flower picking. Don't cut all the trees down and take it home for firewood. It's not your prerogative in the park. It's the same way about the Sabbath. No work. No house painting. No cleaning. No selling. Jerry, no real estate. Yeah. 50 years ago, we had our list of rules. You know, one of the favorite for me was no sermon preparation. You say, Jerry, that's a funny rule. But I lived by that rule for 27 years as a pastor. Why? Because that was my work. Yeah, I did it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, I had a sequence. And Friday, sundown, I wasn't still preparing my sermon, or I would have felt like, you know, this is not honoring the Sabbath. It's different for different people. On the positive side, it's a little harder to command. If you go to the park, wouldn't you be surprised if you saw a sign that said, "Thou shalt relax"? You must listen to the birds. You must be inspired by the great trees and the views here. Have fun.
Learn to play golf.
Learn to play golf. Yeah. Enjoy your children. How ridiculous. You can't command those things. All you can do is provide an atmosphere where it will happen for people to have their brains turned on and are aware of what's going on instead of living in their unawares, right? And it's the same way with the Sabbath. It would be equally nonsensical for God to command people, okay, now on every Sabbath, I command you to enjoy the fellowship of fellow Christians. I command you to worship this way, to be inspired, to rejoice, to give thanks. Well, it kind of takes a little fun out of it. You command me like that. The negative Sabbath commands protect the environment in which the positive experiences are most likely to happen. Here's a modern paraphrase that I got from John. Not the Revelator, pardon. Adventist, that's okay. On Sabbath, don't struggle to secure your place in the world. Rest in the security that I have offered you through creation and redemption. Don't worry about earning money, paying your bills, making grades, winning a baseball championship, beautifying your home, fixing your car. All these things I've given you 6 days to take care of. On Sabbath, I want you to ignore your failures and give attention to my accomplishments. On Sabbath, forget your inadequacies and just remember my promises. On Sabbath, try to tune in to what's really happening. Pinch yourself if you have to while you're sitting at the Cottonwood Grill and wake up and realize what's going on around you in the world, for the people that are making sacrifices, for your freedom, your protection, for your family, for the opportunity that you have to be with your grandchildren that you might not even have tomorrow, right? Wake up and live in the moment, soak in all of that. Every human rule has exceptions. For example, the park may have signs that say no flower picking. But are you going to send the park police after a little girl who picks a dandelion bouquet for her mother? I don't think so. I think that'd be okay. And while I don't want a McDonald's every block in the park, I certainly wouldn't object to having an ice cream cart come by on the 4th of July so we can get some ice cream sandwiches if we're out there. Would you? Oh, that'd be fine. And an expressway would destroy the park, but I'm certainly glad that they paved the roads at least so that when we drive our cars in, we can get into the picnic areas. Isn't that okay? I mean, really? The the same with the Sabbath. You say don't work. God says don't work, but it'd be wrong to stop the work of saving and protecting life. I mean, you'd say no housework, but God keeps working. We're thankful for the fact that He doesn't stop holding the universe in place. We're thankful for the fact that the lights are on here in the room, aren't we? So somebody's responsible for the electricity. If we have a fire, we're going to call the fire department and hope they show up. That means they were working, right? If we need the police, we're going to call them. If we go to the emergency room, we're going to hope somebody's there manning the emergency room, right? I remember at college, Dale, I was preaching a sermon on the Sabbath and had to deal with that issue because we had hundreds of people in the congregation who were involved in medical care. How do you relate to this whole thing? How is the Sabbath still special for you? How is it? Well, that's something we have to deal with that individually.